Okay, so 18 times x to the 7th times y to the 6th divided by 4 times x to the 12th times y to the 3rd will be all raised to the power of -3. And our first step is going to be to do what's on the inside. And so 4 doesn't go into 18, but 2 does. 2 goes into 4 and 18, so we can break the 18 down to 9 over 2, and then we have x to the 7 minus 12 and y to the 6 minus 3. Okay, so in that same step, we're going to have 9 over 2 times x to the -5 times y to the 3. And these are both still raised to the -3. So in our following step, we're going to bring the 3 through. Everybody on the block gets the paper, including this guy down here. Everybody, top and bottom, gets the paper. So now we have 9 to the 1 times -3. We have x to the -5 times -3. And we have y to the 3 times -3. All over 2 to the 1 times -3. So what we really have here is 9 to the -3 times x to the +15 times y to the -9 all over 2 to the -3. So I'm going to rewrite that up here as 9 to the -3 times x to the 15 times y to the -9. Okay? And that's going to be over 2 to the -3. So, our next step, you notice we did step in black, step in blue, step in green. This is the same step. All I did was bring this up, and this is what I suggest to you. If you get on your paper and you need to, oh, I got to the bottom, but I have room right here. Draw a little arrow showing and write the same thing. Don't do a step from this point to this point. I used to do that when I was a student, and believe me, it just sets you up for mistakes. And not only does it set you up for mistakes, it sets you up not to be able to figure out where your mistake was. So you like follow it back, like I have a mistake, but let me see, where did I go wrong? And then you go from this step to this step, and it just messes it all up. So you want to be able to look at this column. Is there a mistake there? No, I didn't do a mistake. Okay, look at this column. Is there a mistake there? Okay, there's yeah.
Can you tell me how you got the 9 and then the 2 underneath, like the
yes.
second step?
So the very first step we did, right, was to do division. We want to divide 4 into 18, but we can't. But what we do know is that 2 goes into both of these. Okay? And here's one thing. I was teaching this yesterday, and you might want to look at it also on YouTube. For Math 70, I was teaching, remember last semester, you guys had me for that, and we were learning that GCF, LCM thing. And this is a perfect way, and it's a new way I've looked at it. I haven't really looked at it like this before, but it's like, I have the 18, and I have the 4. I put the top first, the bottom second. And then I do this for them. And I said we do the upside down division, prime factorization, right? So that's how we do our fractions to break them down now. Because what happens is I want to divide this by a 2. That's my first prime. And they're both even. So now I've got 9 and 2. And then I see if anything else will go into it. No? That's my fraction. So that lets me come right back to this and plug it in. Does that help?
Yeah.
And this is being recorded, so that'll be on there tomorrow. Okay? Alright, so from here, what I want to do in my next step is I want to put everything in its right place. So if it's negative, I need to make it positive. And the way I make it positive is I put it in the other place. If it's in the numerator, it needs to go in the denominator. If it's in the denominator, it needs to go in the numerator and make it positive. So 9 to the negative 3 becomes 9 to the positive 3. 2 to the negative 3 becomes 2 to the positive 3. X to the 15 stays x to the 15. Whereas 9 to, or y to the negative 9 becomes y to the 9. Okay? So now I'm almost there. That last step, I need to make these real numbers. Okay? So 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? So what this is 2 to the third. So it's 2 times 2 times 2. And what this is 9 times 9 times 9. Okay? So what I really have here is 8x to the 15th over, and then this is 81 times 9. So I have 9 times 8. 9 times 8 is what, 72? But I have 81. But what I'm worried about is 8, 72, plus 80, so it would be 72 with a 0. And then 1 times 9, because what if that was a 9? See, that's why I always just save it. And 1 times 9 is 9, or if it were 89, then it would be 9 times 9, right? And that way you can do it in steps. And I don't need my calculator. I can use my calculator to check my work, but I would suggest doing it without the calculator and then checking it with the calculator. And so now I have 729. 729. And y to the 9th. And that is a tough problem.